welcome back to another video about the experiences of living and gaming and just having fun in Korea. This is my third video made with the Share Factory software included with the PlayStation 4. And you know, I'm getting used to it a little bit more. I'm understanding how it works, I'm understanding exactly what I can do with it. And for the most part, I like it. It's a little bit simplistic. It doesn't have all the options that I would really appreciate that would come with video editing software. But for being free and for being just given to PlayStation 4 owners to edit their own videos without having to spend money on editing software, I think it's pretty good and does the trick. And given the fact that I'm not really trying to become the next, what's popular on YouTube? I don't know. There's lots of popular gamers on YouTube. I'm not trying to become super popular. I'm just messing around and having fun. But if something awesome happens along the way where I do become super popular, or I do become successful or famous, which I doubt will happen, I'll never forget the people who brought me here. All two of you. Thank you. Anyway, as you could tell from the title, there are a lot of things happening in Korea right now, or technically around the world, that just also happen to take place in Korea. One of them is the World Cup. It's currently happening. And it's really hard not to get caught up in the fever of the World Cup. I'm not the biggest sports fan, I'm not a big soccer fan, but living in Korea, a country where soccer is absolutely loved and adored by pretty much everybody living here, it's hard not to get caught up in the exciting and sort of patriotic atmosphere of soccer. It's also really interesting to go on my Facebook feed and to see people from back at home, well, my home, and people from all around the world that I've met talking about the World Cup, cheering for their favorite team, cheering for their rival team to lose, but in a very friendly way. And that's what I like about the World Cup, coming from a person not really interested in sports. It's really interesting to see an event that kind of brings the whole world together in sort of this nice, friendly, or at least from what I've seen, friendly atmosphere of people just wanting their team to do the best and represent themselves from around the world. It's a really touching sight, and that may sound incredibly naive and incredibly uninformed. It probably is. But as someone who's not a big soccer fan, or football as it's called around the world, it's really almost kind of heartwarming to see. It's also really hot right now recording this commentary. I had to turn off all sorts of fans and air conditioning in my house just to make sure there's no overlapping sound. Because of that, though, it's really muggy, it's really hot. Speaking of hot, the Steam summer sale is here. We're currently in the middle and about to wrap up, I think in a few days, if I remember correctly. And, you know, for something that normally does my wallet in and really drains it quickly every year, I've done pretty well this year. I think I've spent maybe at most $20 on games, on smaller, cheaper games. And honestly, I'm pretty happy of that fact. I don't know if it's because I've reached that point where I pretty much have every title I want on Steam and my wish list has kind of shrunk down. Or I don't know if it's because I'm just exercising more self-control when it comes to games. But either way, I have not spent a lot of money. There has not been a sort of wallet apocalypse this year during the Steam summer sales, and I'm pretty happy about that because, like, pretty much every user who uses Steam, I have an extremely large backlog that I'm just slowly beginning to accept that I will probably never get through. The last thing I want to talk about on here is, and the footage that you're seeing right now, is about the Battlefield Hardline beta. This is the last week, I think as this goes up today, it may be the last day of the beta. And I'm just taking some gameplay footage because DICE has unlocked all of the weapons perks and all of the kit upgrades in order to kind of experience how the game plays and how the game functions before the full retail comes out. What do I feel about the game? It's a little bit mixed. I like the fact that there are a lot of small perks to the overall Battlefield formula that make it better, as you could have just seen in the video. taking health from people, taking ammo from people without having to wait for them to throw it down, which 90% of the time they don't do, is really nice. The weapons handle well, the vehicles handle extremely tight, and I know this may be blasphemous to say, but I actually kind of enjoy the smaller arenas where you play in towards the objective. It kind of forces everybody to work together as a team and kind of puts bigger emphasis on just moving together. It also keeps the gameplay a little bit faster, and it also makes it more frantic, as you could have seen in this clip. There's lots of close quarters fighting, lots of close quarter vehicles, lots of chases trying to get away with the objective, and it's a lot of fun. On the flip side, however, am I going to buy this game when it comes out? I'm not sure, at least not right away. For all intents and purposes, this really truly does feel more like an expansion. It feels like a Battlefield Vietnam or 2142 compared to a full-fledged Battlefield sequel. And the fact that Battlefield 4 came out last year with a less than stellar launch, I'm a little bit skeptical. The beta played very well. I noticed very little issues that the Battlefield 4 game had, and in some cases still has. But again, I'm really skeptical. It feels more like an expansion that they're charging, at least in the US, full retail price for $60. And granted, if this game is a lot of fun, if my friends play it and say, oh, you have to play this, it's so much fun, then yes, I will purchase it and I will play it. But, you know, I probably will not be picking this up at launch, even though I've had a very positive experience, just simply because of the fact that, like I said, it feels more like a refinement. And that's not necessarily bad, because I did enjoy the Battlefield gameplay overall. But at the same time, there's a small part of me that doesn't really want to see Battlefield annualized. There's a small part of me that would like Battlefield to go back to the way it was before, just simply focusing on one game for a couple years and refining it and adding new content. But the cynical part of me believes that that is certainly not the case, and most certainly will probably not happen under EA's control, simply for the fact that they like to make money, and annualized popular franchises seem to do very well with modern gamers. That being said, like I said, if it's fun, I will definitely pick it up, but right now I'm just taking the wait and see approach. I'm not saying that this is going to turn into another Call of Duty. I'm not even saying this game is going to be bad. But I certainly am saying that I don't think it'll hurt to wait. And I'm certainly saying that if you really truly want to support DICE and EA, they probably will not be hurting by you holding off to buy it until a later date. And with the multitude of games coming out this year, I think personally I could probably wait on this title. So that's pretty much all I have to say about this video. I'm still enjoying the summer and enjoying gaming in Korea. So if you've watched this video, thank you. And hopefully I'll do another one. Thanks.